Welcome back.
Welcome to the TAE Time Podcast. Long time no see.
Oh, it's been a while for us. Yeah, not for you guys.
Not for you, but for me.
For us.
Nice to be back from holidays.
Hollybobs.
Don't ever say that
Isn't
again.
that what they?
Don't ever say that again.
Is that what the Oyinbo people say?
Yeah, no, never. I don't say that. Okay. Yeah, no, it's good to be back. Really enjoyed my time. That's what we're
Here to talk about.
Here to discuss,
Yeah.
my little trip. In case you didn't know, I went back home to Nigeria, Lagos, Nigeria to be specific. That's where I was born and raised before I moved to Ireland. So, we out here.
Yeah, and today I prepared a lot of questions for him because you know what? He has been back and told me very little, so I'm finding out as you're finding out, I guess
Yeah, that was the
that's,
idea. We wanted your interaction to be like raw and stuff, So
Yeah.
we didn't want it to be like, oh, everything I've already told her, she's hearing it again, because then you don't get the
the shock
and
effect,
all,
the raw footage. So, I guess before we get started, I like what you're wearing.
Oh, thanks. Got this in Nigeria. It's NAC, so it's like Nigerian Articulate Collection, Cultural Collection. So Nigerian Articulate Cultural Collection, K, the cool collection, instead of C. And so, yeah, it's just like some brand, their homegrown brand, they do the stuff over there. And so I was like, because that was one thing I wanted to get like something that was like from there, like some, like, not like how people are like, oh yeah, like when I go to Africa, I want to get something real, in the roots. No, it's not like that. It's just like literally, I was like, I could get like Adidas or whatever, but no, I wanted like a brand that was actually cool that I thought, and I saw this. Of course. We were like in the mall, my dad saw, I was like, yo, that actually looks nice, and I was like, yo, that is lame, like that kind of like jersey. So I was like, yeah, get it. Don't get it though, because it's mine. You, no. Me, yes.
It's supporting the, the businesses there as well, because it's not all just like stalls like on the street. I assume, I know this, but I assume, for the viewers watching. So like, there's obviously brands that you want to support as well.
Yeah, so. Exactly. So, there are cool brands out there. Lots of people doing different designs and stuff. So, and this is one of them. It is pretty cool, pretty nice. And I see you something in your head there, one as well.
That's crazy. Did you just notice that?
Oh my God.
As if we haven't been getting ready together for the past hour. Yes, as you may have noticed, my little headscarf. I got this as a gift, as I did many other gifts. Fruit came back bearing gifts from his family, and I was just so overwhelmed. Like, I got so many traditional clothes from his family, and it's just, I appreciate it so much. His grandma gave me 2 of these headscarves, and I thought, you know what, this episode was appropriate to wear these. Obviously, just got it as a new gift. I'm really liking the look, the vibe.
The vibes.
The vibe. So, in case you're wondering.
Yeah. Good.
Vibe.
Yeah.
But I guess we're ready to get started into today's
little escapade.
Yeah. So, come on. Tell us, what made you go back? What's the reason?
Because I haven't been there in time. Like, I literally, and it's funny because one of my other mates as well went around the same time, and it's also around the same one time that we haven't gone back. But like the last time I was in Nigeria was like 14 years ago, nearly 15 years ago. Like, that is a long time. It's been so long, and like, I obviously, like, that's the country I grew up in. Like, it's not like, and I grew up, like, I left there when I was around 7, so like literally, like, I remember everything, went to school and everything, and stuff like that. And then we went back a few years later, and then I never went back since then. Like, life just went on. I was like, what the hell? I haven't gone back to Lagos in so long. So I was like, yeah, I need to go back, So I went back, and so I was just like excited to go. I was really looking forward to it, and I was like, yeah.
So how come you didn't bring me?
Moving on to the next question.
Next question.
Joking. I just said I wanted to go myself, I see family, see whatever. And then like that next time now, because I will be going back more often, I'll bring you, after I've already gone back again. Because it's different going when I was younger and like my parents would like leave me everywhere and whatever. And then obviously like going now. And like also big shout out to my dad because he really helped me out while he was there, like, because he was there around the same time I was there. Like, he got there before and he's staying there longer, you know, like, he goes back a lot, obviously. Like, my dad goes back every year, multiple times a year. And then, you know, he was taking care of me while I was out there. And a massive shout out to my uncle, because he literally, like, left his whole family for a week to just, like, drive me around, you know, and, like, and me and my dad around the whole place and everything. So real nature props to two of them, big factor. And obviously, like, big shout out to the rest of my family, because, you know, it was a great seeing everyone again after years. Everyone was so happy to see me. I was so happy to see them. You know, they treated me well, whatever, you know, like, gave me a bunch of gifts like that. I'm, like, super ultra thankful for, you know. So, and that's the thing, that was the beauty of it. Like, it really made my experience really, like, good.
I mean, yeah, of course, especially because, like, I assume driving is happening a lot there, so
yeah,
you know.
Freaking talk about driving, like,
Yeah.
Lagos is mad when it comes to driving. Like, traffic is it's ridiculous. Like, a drive that should be like 30 minutes will take you like 2 hours or whatever, like, even more. But the thing is, not just traffic is bad, like, drivers are just crazy. Like, it's literally, you know, insane. Like, so you have like 2 lanes, and usually in the, like, built roads, there's in the middle, there's, like, you know, essentially a divider, right? Mm-hmm. So, like, you can't just go until like much later on, and it's like proper dividers, right? And literally, like, in the place, you might have 2 lanes, like, on your side, you know, like, for 2 cars to be going, or maybe 2 or 3. But literally, like, some roads have those, like, you know, lines drawn, some don't. But no one gives a shit. Like, literally, there'll be times you'll have like 4 or 5 cars by each other. Literally, if there's a space, someone's gonna try occupy it to try just go, because they're impatient, right? Like, you literally have scenarios where, like, let's say this is a one-way road, cars will still be coming this way.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh my god.
Or you'd have situations where, like, let's say there's cars parked or cars trying to come in, both of them will just keep going. And they won't want to give way. So when the other one has to, like, try squeeze through, instead of the other car to reverse and give the other person space, they just wait. And like, just go.
That doesn't sound at all like an accident in the making.
Oh my god, the accidents aren't, like, literally the first day my uncle was driving me, right? We're driving in traffic, busy, super busy as always. Everyone's just shoving in, moving, honking, and that's the thing, honk all the time. Like, I said this to my dad, like, instead of using their rear view mirrors, like, in their side mirrors, to look at what's coming left or right, they just expect to honk, and that's how they know if someone's on the left or the right.
That's so crazy.
Because everyone's honking all the time. But yeah, on the first day, literally my uncle was driving me an Okada, which is a motorcycle, right? Mm-hmm. There's a lot of them motorcycles, because, you know, you can get swerve through whatever. Literally, we're driving through, and boom, Okada hits the back left, like, of his car.
No.
It's insane. He hits it, breaks the light, right? And then this guy looks at us and then starts driving off. My uncle is pissed off, gets out of the car, sees another Okada guy on that, and then goes on that Okada and drives with him to chase down the other guy. After the other guy had already gone.
What?
But no, they never caught up to him, unfortunately, because he already went, like, he just ran. Well, he was pissed off. And so my dad had to, like, go in and start driving the car, you know, because traffic started moving a little bit. So he was just driving to move in, and it was so funny. And then eventually my uncle came back on the other Okada and got into the car. It was just so funny. It was mad. But you see it all the time. Like, even another time, like, another car riders. And that's one thing. Like, all the, like, Okadas, the cars, the kekes, which are like tricycle, like, kind of things, and buses, they're all literally have dents. Like, pretty much all cars have, like, dents, scratches, mirrors broken, whatever. Yeah. Because it's just so, like, it's just accidents waiting to happen consistently while you're driving. Just consistently.
But it's crazy, because when you're explaining it, it sounds like, you know, the roads are built correctly for them to be used in a safe manner. It's just misused. No. And as well, like, a thing I never understood, I guess, when, you know, people are in traffic and you're waiting a long time, you're there for a long time, and you have to deal with the honking on top of it, and it's doing
honking
nothing.
Doesn't stop. Honking doesn't stop in Nigeria. Like, literally, in Lagos, honking is all you hear on the road. Like, honk. And literally, people are honking at you because they want to just... They're like, there's a tiny escape. They're like, move so I can occupy that space even more. Or either, like, you know, you have to honk to make sure someone is aware that, like, you'll be going, and then someone just starts turning, and because they don't look at their mirror, and they just honk, and you're honking like, yo, don't hit me. Or not. Like, it's actually insane. insane. And the thing is, like, the main roads, like, where you go are, like, well built, but then the side roads, sometimes some side roads are like dirt roads. So, and it's like, because like during rainy season it rains and all that stuff, or they're just attrition and everything, they have like massive dips. Like my uncle's car is like a normal like Toyota. They love Toyotas. Like pretty much 90% of the cars you see there are all Toyotas.
So it's like the Volkswagen Golf here.
Like you literally nothing but Toyotas everywhere on the street. Like Toyotas everywhere. But so, and it's like a normal, like, 4-seater Toyota. So like when he's going on those things, and especially like those dips and bumps are massive there, he'd be going slowly, and then all you hear is the underside of the car going like scratching consistently. And that's why people go through cars so much, because of all the like people hitting each other.
It's a lot of wear and tear.
Like my dad made a funny comment of like, the thing is, most of these cars would be stress tested, right? And for like to last like 20 years or something like that. Yeah. But in Nigeria, they last like less than 5 years, because the stress they go through in less than 5 years is equal to the 20 years of stress.
Literally. I can't imagine the pain of you hearing that and imagining it's you driving your car.
I literally
like,
got desensitized to it. Like literally that happens so many times with one of those. And it's like you're in a wave because you're going up and down, and
kind of fun though.
It's not really. And then other cars are going literally, like, everyone drives on the right side, over there. Yeah. So you literally get to a point where like you're on the right side going up and down, and eventually there's another car, just because they don't want to go on that side, they'll go right in front of you, so you have to go to the other side, and everyone's just swapping like what side they're dropping on these like little dirt roads. It's so funny. So obviously you've heard a lot of honking and stuff all the way there. How did it make you feel being back here driving? Did it make you want to honk at people, or like? No, I was just happy to stop hearing fucking honks. Like eventually I pretty much at the start I got used to it and I didn't give a shit. Yeah. But like it was still like, now when I drive here again, I'm like, there's no honking. This is strange. It's very quiet. It's quiet. Strangely quiet. Yeah. No, honestly, like the traffic in Lagos is insane. Like I've never seen like Spain and Italy have really bad and aggressive aggressive drivers, but they ain't got none in Lagos. Those are like, they're all like, I have things to do, I have people to see, don't waste my time. Yeah, I guess I will not be driving one other. Moving on. So obviously you haven't been to Nigeria in a really long time. So was there a process that you had to go through to enter the country, or like, Yeah, so essentially my passport has already expired, and I was meant to renew it like at the start of this year, but I just kept pushing it off, and I was like, oh yeah, I'll just renew it. And this is before I even knew I was going to Nigeria. I just wanted to renew my passport again. And then I was like, oh, I'm going to go. And then the amount of time it takes and the amount of effort it takes to go to the Nigerian Dublin embassy is long. I was like, I don't want to do that. So I decided to just get a visa instead. So the visa process isn't too bad. It's actually much easier and much better than the actual normal passport. You essentially just go in with like documentation that you have to fill out from their website. Okay. And then you also have to add like your bank statement, and then your your bank statement and a few other things. You give them your passport, and essentially they process that information and all that, and it gets sent back to you in like 5 working days, so that's just not too bad. But like when I was doing it, so essentially I got there, I forgot my bank statement, so I had to go get that, print that out, and gave it to them, because I had everything else ready. I had everything in the Polly Pockets. Even I had multiples of everything as well, just to make sure. You were ready. I was ready because I've heard about the wildlife going through there, And so I was like, I got this. This is easy. Don't worry. But then I got there and I was like, fuck, I forgot my bank statement. So I had to go print it out, go to the bank. Luckily, there was like AIB, like 10 minutes walk around the corner. I went there, print out my bank statement, put it in, and then I gave them. And then your man's like, oh, you need a stamp so they can send it on to you, and it's like an €8 something stamp. And I was like, oh. So I went to the post office, had to get an envelope, get that stamp, put it on. Okay, cool, we're sorted. So I give the person who attended to me everything they requested for, stamp and all, so it can be sent back to the address I put it on, in the envelope that I put on. Okay, that was required to have. Why do I get a call 4 days later being like, hello, you didn't give us an envelope with the stamp, so we can't send this back to you? I was like, wait a minute. And the person talking to me is the person I gave it to. But obviously, I know how Nigerians.
You know better.
I know better. I was raised well Nigerian. I was like, oh, sorry, sir. I gave it. And then he's like, oh, who did you give it to? I was like, I can't remember, even though it was him.
It was you.
I gave it to you. And then being like, oh, I can't remember, but I definitely gave it. And then he's like, oh, but it's not here. And then it's like, okay, then can you come and pick it up? I was like, oh. And I was like, yes. Because I'd rather just go and pick it up than try to deal with any wala of like doing whatever, right? So I went there, picked it up, and I was just like, that's just stress. Stress before I even went. But I got the visa. It's a 3-month visa. You can get a 6-month one as well, I believe. But I just got a 3-month visa.
That's
and so,
nice.
because like I was like, I'll get my passport renewed, because now if you want to get your passport renewed or even get a Nigerian passport, you need an NIN, which is like a Nigerian identity number. So I got that actually while I was back home there. So getting my passport now will be a lot easier, because even that's a hassle and so on. And then you get that, and then you go get the passport. So, look, I was happy to get it started, because like a few of my friends wanted to go to Nigeria last year, and they weren't able to get their visas approved. So it was annoying. And then like after they even booked their flights and everything. So
Ooh.
Tell me about it. Because the thing is, that's also what you need. You need to show proof of the flight you're going to go on and you're coming back.
Oh my God.
So like to get the visa. So like, can you imagine and I paid €900 for my return ticket, and that was right before they got super expensive. Now they're ridiculous expensive. They're like 1,000 something.
I'm sure people who have to apply for visas probably get the travel insurance so they can, just in case.
Yeah, like,
to like get their.
Like my dad does this whole like thing where he like kind of like gets it kind of looking like he got his ticket or whatever, like, and then he can cancel his flight or whatever the situation
happens, yeah.
So like, yeah, like, because he's done that 100 times, but like he obviously doesn't need it because
obviously
he has a Nigerian passport that's in date.
Did you require like any vaccines or any that kind of stuff, health checks before entering?
No, like you need the COVID certificate to show that whatever, and that was pretty much it. I think if you're, because I got the email, I think if you're flying from France, you had to show that you had a yellow fever vaccine or whatever it is, or something like that, and so like whatever that is, and the vaccine for that. And so, but obviously, like in our end, we didn't need that coming from Dublin, so it was kind of.
I know, because I know one of our friends, she's going to India with her partner, and she had to get like a bunch of stuff. Yeah, like a multi.
But I think in that scenario, it's for like to be safe over there.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I thought you did something for malaria.
For me, I like took malaria medicine, so like it's medicine to help you not get malaria,
but it's not required.
No, it's not required. You just do it just for yourself, whereas I didn't even really need a malaria one, because I have like immunity against it kind of, so but like it's just better safe than sorry,
I love that you said that. It's gonna look so good on content. They're gonna be like, what does he mean, kind of?
Yeah, watch other episodes to find out.
You'll know.
But yeah, no, so not too bad.
That sounds, do you know what it is? That sounds like a pretty easygoing process. So like, I feel like even if I wanted to go, like, they would.
Oh, it's way easier for only more people, actually. The process,
really?
They're way nicer to you.
Damn.
Like at the embassy, they'll treat you nice, but like when you're Nigerian, they treat you like a Nigerian. They're like, wait over here, don't talk to me, whatever, and all that stuff, and they're just rude to you. But like if you're an Igbo person, they'll be like, oh, kind to you, they want you to go. For me, they're gonna treat me like any other Nigerian, and I'm just there twiddling my thumb, being like, I'm sorry. Please just give me what I want.
Fair enough. That's good to know. Let me write that down. So, obviously, got your visa all sorted. What does your travel look like?
Yeah,
Talk us through it.
Usually, if you're going there are like different routes. Lots of people use like Air France or KLM. So that way you go either through Paris or Amsterdam, and you might have long layover. Most people do have long layover. Like when I was going, I went through Paris with Air France, and then I had a 7-hour layover.
Do you know what it is? Long. You had access to the lounge, and you didn't take the opportunity.
Yeah. But 7-hour layover, and I was like, oh, I hate this, fucking hell. But it is what it is. You gotta move on with your life, But and so did that, and then obviously to France, it's like 2-hour flight, not even, and then from after the long 7-hour layover. I had a 6.5 hour flight, but because our flight was slightly delayed in starting, it was only 6 hour flight. Because usually your flight is longer because they just they don't want to speed too much or whatever in the air. But so it would end up being a 6 hour flight, and then I got Lagos. So it wasn't too bad. Obviously, the 7 hours wasn't the worst 7 hours I've ever done. To be honest, like I've done worse, but I think because I didn't know it was a 7 hour layover because I didn't look at it properly, and then so I was just shocked, and I wasn't mentally ready. But when I went through it, it wasn't the worst.
Yeah, I get you.
Like I don't look back on it and be like, oh my god, I was so long. I'm like, oh damn, actually, like it flew by. Yeah. Whereas when I remember the 10-hour layover we had to do in Dubai, coming back from Japan, I remember that whole 10 hours of how suffering it was.
In Dubai. That's one thing actually that scarred me too. It was like, that was horrible. And I just remembered the iron chairs and the discomfort at like 4 a.m. and it was
terrible.
Not a vibe. But that sounds pretty okay. So then you land and you go through everything there.
You go through the Nigerian airport and you go through everything from the moment you get off the plane to getting out of that. Even getting out of the airport, people are trying to hustle. This is Nigeria. This is Lagos. Don't get it wrong. We're hustlers. Everyone's trying to make bread or whatever it is. Like, it's kind of like New York vibes, except like New York, they legally can't do this. Well, you can't do it legally in Lagos either, but like in New York, they wouldn't do that, I believe, because America is very strict, because if you get caught, you're kind of screwed.
Oh, I get you.
Whereas here, so you get off the plane, you're going down, you're walking through the airport a bit before you go through security. There are different people asking you if you want blah blah, so they can get money from you. You're like, no, I'm good. You get to security. So when you get to security, like in immigration, you have to first talk to someone who's part of the special police, and then you talk to the someone who, because you have this boarding ticket thing, right, for where you're staying. If you have more than $10,000 or something with you,
like on you,
or less, or something like that, and like some other information like your flight number, all that stuff, right? You get given one of those. You get given one of those. You have to fill it out. They give it to you. They don't give you a pen, so everyone's just asking different people for pens. Okay, that's kind of whatever. I got a pen out. Someone, I wrote it down. Okay, I wrote it down. Then you go to the special police person, right? And these are long lines. Especially this is for the non-EU side, right? So this is even worse because they know you're coming with money, So the special police guy is like,
wait. This is the EU. You did come from EU.
Yeah. Sorry, I mean the non-Nigerian side. Sorry. Then non-Nigerian passport. So they're coming from the EU side. Blah blah blah. Okay. You go to your man, and then I'm talking to him. He's like, oh, name blah blah, and I was like, yeah. I give him my passport, give him the thing. Then he's like, Farouk. And I was like, yeah. He's like a Nigerian. And I was like, yeah. I was like, you're about to talk. He's like, when's the last time you're here? And I was like, 14 years ago. It's been a long time. He's like, welcome back. Blah blah blah. And the thing is, my dad has already given me fair warning that they're going to ask you for money.
Yeah.
And the thing is, people have different stance on this. Some people will be like, do not give money no matter what, because they shouldn't be doing that, because they're not allowed to do that. They're not allowed to do that.
But would you really want to risk giving nothing and
illegal.
not getting in the
people,
country?
Like my friend who got there, he didn't give any money, right? So and he didn't have any wala, so he was lucky. But what's it called? I had already seen this guy give someone else hassle and not put them in the second line when they didn't give money. So I was like, So my dad gave me $20, right? And said in case you need it. So I talked to this guy, and then he's like, oh, and then he goes, the line that they all use. When I was coming back, I heard this line at every checkpoint. So do you have anything for me?
So small.
They say it's small. And then
small.
he's like, and he's like, I was like, what do you mean, sir? And he's like, and then, trying to act stupid. I'm trying to act stupid, because I'm trying to see what I can get with it.
Okay.
And then I'm trying to act stupid, and he's like, something small, $100, $150. Can you imagine? He says something light, $100, $150. Is that light money to you? Is that light money to me? Even that's not light money to me. That's not light money to anybody. $100, $150 is not light money. But he said it so casually,
yeah.
Do you know what
I mean?
Because for someone who's ignorant, they wouldn't know any better, And so I'm like, sorry, sir, I actually don't. I didn't. My dad gave me $5 to like get food for when I come here, in case I needed to, but I didn't use it, so that's all I have. Trying to play smart. So I gave him the $5, and the way he takes it quickly and like puts it
So
underneath,
no one can see.
Yeah, so no one sees it.
I'm sure underneath there was a stash.
God knows. And then he goes in there, and then he's like, okay, and then he gives me the thing, and then go back into. He's like, go into that line. So this is the line to see the actual immigration people who are going to stamp your thing and let you go through.
Do you know what it is about the story? Do you know what it is about it? This poor little boy with his lunch money. He's like, yeah, I'll take that. I'll just snatch that off you. Like, that's a pretty sad story.
No, it's like, so take, for example, my friend's younger brother. He came before him, right?
Yeah.
He had like used some money, and then he had like 300 naira. 300 naira is really like nothing. Like, it could get you a little bit. And then your man's like, oh, do you have any money or whatever? And he's like, oh, I have just 300 naira. And then he's like, give it to me. He took it. A grown man.
Oh, and this guy's younger than you, like.
And the kids were younger than me. No. A grown man is taking 300 naira, which is like, he's making more than 300 naira. Taking it from this kid. Can you, like, that's just the mentality. It's crazy, but we move still. It's one of those things. And so, like, I go into this other line, which is also long, to see the other guys. And then he comes, he takes my thing, he's reading it. And then he asked me for money. I said, sorry, sir, I don't have any money, unfortunately.
You should I just give it all to him. He took it all.
I'm not trying to get some, and I was like, okay. And then he gives me my thing and lets me
go.
Oh,
so he didn't cause you a hassle for not having it?
Because that's at the point. The thing I was lucky is because he already stamped my thing. So I was just like,
okay.
I was like, I don't have to give you shit.
Like, I'll remember for the next person.
I don't have to give you shit. But as I was going, there was this like American white guy that was behind me. And I saw him like talking to the other guy, special police guy, and he gave him $50. $50.
Who has money to give like that?
That's a lot of money, because essentially like around $1 is around 650 naira.
I feel like this guy has no idea how this country works.
No, I think that was his first time. And then
he's just wasting all his money.
I heard him and he sounded like a proper like tourist, like American tourist who's going to Africa or whatever for like like trips and like trying to see it, like fair folks, but like he got scammed.
This is a bit of a side story, but I feel like it's relevant to share here because I haven't told you. So I was out recently with some of my friends. We were like clubbing. We went to the bathroom, and as we're inside, I'm installed at the stall, going to the bathroom, whatever. I hear this lady, and one of them asked her, why are you barefoot? And she's like, oh, because I was in Africa, like helping them build homes for like 3 months. Yeah, I was in Africa, and like now I'm just barefoot, like I'm used to being barefoot. I'm like,
oh, one of them.
Shock and horror. Like,
what, you saying we can't afford shoes? You saying we can't afford shoes?
But first of all, Africa, where did you go? Do you know what I mean?
I was in Africa.
And second of all, I'm very sure that no land in Africa had all the diseases that club floor had.
Absolutely.
Like, oof. I was like, this is...
What a stupid thing to say.
Yeah, just thought I'd let you know.
That is so... Wow. I was in Africa, so I'm barefooted. In Africa, like, we just all go barefoot everywhere. So, obviously, like, it's like when people go like, oh, yeah. It's like, I love that... TikTok of like someone who spent like X amount of months in South Korea, and then it's like, and then like before they say it's like, how's somebody die? It's like, oh my god, I'm so sorry. Or when people are in Spain, and then oh, it's like, oh, no siesta time. Oh my god, how am I meant to function with no siesta time?
I know,
just to make it adamant that they weren't like.
No, don't even get me started on the house building stuff. I think we need to have a whole episode on that whole stuff. Oh god, that's a whole
stick on its own.
But yeah.
But crazy. So you go through the immigration, you're there, and bada bing, bada boom, you have to go to where your baggage is. Luckily me, I checked in a bag that wasn't even 3 kg, because I checked in a small bag.
You had 20?
I had, it's like 23, but I only put like less than that because I just had moisturizer in it. Like pretty much.
Works like yes.
The 2 tops. And that's because I also wasn't bothered to carry it because I already had the hand luggage, so I was like, just put it there.
Yeah.
So, and then they go, and then someone starts talking to you. It's like, oh, how you doing, sir? How you doing? You have luggage, we can go here, come. And they lead you. The idea is like they'll help you take your luggage out, help you put on a trolley, and then bada bing, help you even take your trolley
Sounds
out.
like decent work if you ask me.
And then obviously they expect then a tip. Obviously, depending on how much of a foreigner, they'll ask for like serious one. They'll ask you for like a few thousand naira, which is a lot of money, like, you know, for like some small thing they just did there, you know. And so they just try to scam you. But I was like, no, I'm good because I know my people. I know Lagos.
Oh, you just simply refuse.
I just said no. I don't need it. I was like, the bag I have there is not even GKG. What do you mean?
What do you need help with?
There's no point.
Do you know what? Speaking about luggages, so like when I went to my homeland in Romania.
Well, when we went to your homeland in Romania.
Listen. There's lots of stories. But yeah, when I went with my mom and we bought like all these snacks and whatever, and by the time we got in our home, all the snacks were gone from the luggage, but we had a lock on it and that was broken but somehow put back on so we couldn't open it. We had to break it. Our own lock with the key that we had to break it, and you know, to find all our snacks gone and stuff. The clothes are fine. I guess the people there weren't interested. That's kind of offensive, but okay. So they just like, you know, took the snacks. So I was wondering, like, does that happen, you know, were you guys like in Nigeria or?
Yeah, it does happen sometimes. Like, for example, it didn't happen to me, but when my dad was going this time, and as he said, he stupidly forgot that he put like 2 iPhones into the suitcase because he wanted to go take them there to give to like some of our family, some old phones that we had. And so he had them in the suitcase. And so the suitcase was locked already. They unlocked the suitcase, took the iPhones out, locked the suitcase back. And then he came, and then when he was like opening it to be like, okay, the phones I'm going to give to people, the phones were gone. He knew. What? And the thing is, he knew. He's like, damn, because no one ever puts anything valuable inside their suitcase because they know.
Yeah, people know. Like, I think that was my first experience with people stealing from my bag, and I was like, huh. And then I think when I was telling other people, they were like, oh yeah, like, why don't you know this? I mean, what do you mean, why don't I know this? I don't know. I just don't expect people to steal from my bag. But that's crazy, not the iPhones.
Yeah, I know. But then, so you leave the thing. And then straight from the gate, you have people out there, black market, offering, you know, naira in exchange for dollar. And the thing is, they won't give you good rates. They'll scam you. You know, they're gonna scam you. And they're like straight away. And but the thing is, my dad and my uncle already got into the airport because usually they don't let you in. But like, he was smart about the way he did it, and he did it in such a way so that he would get in. And then he got in, and so like that way we were walking straight away. They were like trying to hassle us for money, you know, being like, oh, you want to change, blah, blah, blah. And they have the stacks of cash with them, you know. And then he's like, no. And then people are like, taxi, you need to get somewhere, you know, so they can scam you and say like, oh, you owe me freaking 50,000 naira for like this trip that would be normally 4,000 naira or something.
This sounds like, do you know, like a Japanese store where there's just ads everywhere in your face, but it's people coming at you, kind of like that. It's
very overwhelming. Like, if you're not really familiar with Lagos or like even in Paris, like for example, Paris is like that. Paris is like hustling. Everyone's trying to scam you. Like the moment you leave the airport in Paris, people are trying to scam you.
It's like people too usually. So.
Like we literally told you guys a story about them trying to like scam us and tell us the metro is closed and everything. Like, you know, stuff like that. Like people are trying to scam you straight away.
You might have to retell that story.
Yeah, at some point. If you watch another episode.
I have a question, right? Because I hear you talk a lot about dollars, naira. So what's the story? Can you use both currencies in the country?
So like everything is in naira, but like there are people who take dollars and euro from you, like because those are strong currencies. So and they're getting more than what would be the equivalent. So there's like I couldn't go to like KFC and pay with dollars. Yeah. Like they would be like no. But like if someone is selling me something, they would willingly take dollars because they're like, yeah, I can just go change this on the black market for way more.
You said that the guy asked you for like 100, 150, something small dollars, but you came from like a euro country, so how did you know to? Well,
no, it's because like dollars are very like used over there. Okay. You know, like a lot of people like using dollars, especially because a lot of Nigerians go to the States anyway, like, you know, to America. So like there's a lot of dollars in circulation and stuff like that. So it makes sense. So, like you wouldn't have as much euros as you would have dollars, but they do, like they'll take. Nicoletta, I could have whatever currency, they'll take it off me.
I was about to say, like, if all you had was like a tenner on you, I'm sure
it doesn't even matter even if it was you. I could have lei, and they would take lei off me.
Not the lei.
They would take lei off me.
Oh my god!
As long as it's currency,
you could totally go with like 100 lei, and then it'd be like, here.
Yeah. You know, they'll take whatever off me. You know, like obviously they prefer if you gave them that, but like money is money, sure.
Yeah, I suppose.
But yeah, so from the get go, you're going. So luckily I had them. They drove me out, you know, back to where he was, and even at night. this was because I arrived around 11:30 p.m.
Oh.
And it was popping. Lagos is popping at night still, no matter what time of the day. It like I feels like it's literally busier at night than it is during the day. Like, you know, during the day you have like a bunch of traffic and stuff and people are over there. But I just feel like there's like even more people at night just on the streets going around. And it makes sense because people are finished work and stuff. But like up onto the late, like where I was sleeping, literally at like 2, 3 a.m. I still hear music outside of people playing
Yeah.
Stay Low.
It's cooler outside.
You know,
Well, cooler as cool as it gets.
mm.
Speaking about that, how hot is
It was around 28 to 30 degrees while I was
Okay.
there. And
too
it was
shabby.
around 90% humidity.
Bit
Very
shabby.
humid. But like, it wasn't too bad, honestly. I didn't feel it because everyone kept asking me, it's like, oh, how you feeling the weather? And I was like, oh, it's actually fine. I'm not too bad.
Yeah.
I don't feel it too bad. You know, I didn't feel like I was never sweating profusely.
I
which
think
is one
maybe like Japan just kind of
Mm-hmm.
put an end to that.
Yeah, like I was
that
never.
experience.
I think, you know, I was just used to the heat and everything. You know,
Yeah.
and it's inside the genetics. You know, but you know, like I just used to the heat. It was calm. So, but for them, it was actually cold. Like my uncle,
yeah,
my aunt,
I
everyone was like,
assume so.
"Oh yeah, it's cold right now." You know, it's
Chile.
like cold right now. You know, and like the first time we were over at my dad's best friend's house. Shout out to him. Oh, he's such a great person. He was taking care of us and everything. So like we're over at his house, and in the first night, my uncle was sleeping in the same room as us, and we had my dad likes having the AC on while we're there, and boom. My uncle's like, it's cold, you know, and everything on the floor. So I eventually got his own room, and he didn't need the AC because, like, but yeah, no, it's not too bad for them. But yeah, the weather was fine. It wasn't terrible. Like around this time is raining season. So like usually like around summer, it's when like our summer is like their raining season, and it like rains heavily. But I was very lucky that it actually only rained twice while I was there, and at those times it wasn't even that heavy. So I was so lucky. I was like, thank fuck. Because there would have been nothing worse if it was just mucky rain everywhere.
Yeah, I get you.
I hated that.
So you mentioned party scene. I hear a little bit about the party scene up until ungodly hours. Tell us about your party outgoing life while we were there.
I didn't really party, but you know, like I'm out there with my pops, so I'm not out here clubbing. Like, yeah, we're going.
Why not? I'm sure he would.
No.
He would party with you.
But to be fair to him and his best friend, they did take me to this like rooftop bar like one night. Like I think it was the second night I was there, and we got like suya, like fish suya. Oh, it was great. The chips, the fish, like the food there. We'll get
It's another topic.
Immaculate. You know, tasted great. You know, had some Malta Guinness. You know, just chilling. The music was good. The vibes were good. Just enjoying, and you know, like it was not really their scene, but like, you know, they're just there chilling. We were there for like about an hour and a half or so. You know, the food, the fish, so yeah, exquisite. It comes on a tinfoil because it's grilled inside the tin. Well, it has all the flavors. You know, Africa, Nigeria, Lagos, people know how to cook. There was never a single thing I ate that was not good.
Let's talk about it.
And then even on what's it called? While I was there with my friend, like my friend came over on Wednesday, so we went out Thursday and Friday, and we went to Eco Atlantic, which is kind of like this new Dubai kind of type thing that Lagos doing, where they reclaim the water from the Atlantic Ocean, built on top of it, and they're like two massive skyscrapers. There's a few skyscrapers there, but like there's two in particular where there's this like restaurant, lovely views, amazing, like, and the food amazing. Had like some there was like a Nigerian platter, had some Cruz got like some fish where the fish was like this size, like big. Anytime you get fish, it's massive fish. It's not that small.
They give you the whole thing, man.
There. And then, you know, they give you a massive fish, like, you know. I was like, god damn. You know. And we also went to this like place that's like by the sea, like the Friday night. And I got this like fried rice and jollof rice with this like hanging of like the assortments of meats, like prawn, fish, beef, and everything. And then that same night, talk about nightlife, literally went on a boat. literally enjoying the views of the massive houses around.
You were
having
chopping life.
Lit.
Like the videos that I got from that day were actually kind of disrespectful. like the meat that he was eating was like just like
it
melted off the bone. Like it was it just looked so good. And then like the boat trip, I was like, what kind of lavish life is this?
Oh no!
You went from fingless to that. Like, do you know what I mean? You left me behind.
You know, honestly, like it was the party scene, and also people love the party there. Like, especially like from Thursday night onwards, like people are just partying, having just enjoyment. It's enjoyment. Everyone's trying to enjoy themselves, trying to have a good time, eating good food, and that's the one thing I love. In every bar over there, you can get food. Like here, pubs you can't, like, unless it's like a bar restaurant thing that like turns into a bar overnight, and sometimes you can get a bit of food, but there no matter what you can get food.
That's amazing.
I love that.
Yeah, that because it reminds me of there was like an event that was set up here like on a night out that we went to, and they actually served food.
Yeah,
so exactly. I wonder if that kind of like resembles
what
it's like.
Yeah, because like you just get food, and like because there's nothing worse than being like, look man, I'm hungry, and you have to wait until afterwards. No, I can chop food while I'm here.
Yeah, let me dance a little bit. Like
I can dance. Go chop food, come back to dancing. I can have a good time.
Also, like, it's good business. Like, people are willing to buy it.
You know,
people are willing to eat.
Nigeria knows what they're doing. You know what they're doing, Sha. Having a good time.
All right. I guess I want to ask you something else, right? Before we actually wrap up this video, because there might be a part 2.
Yeah, you guys can't get all in one go.
Can't get all in one go.
You gotta, get in different sections, different bits.
So obviously you've got us all like mouth watering right now. Tell us about the food. What did you eat?
Now the food's immaculate, honestly. Like even in like my dad's friend's house, like I got great food there. They gave me eba, amala, goose, like, eating with goosey, all these things. I was eating with all these different things. Like,
do you guys see the love in his eyes when he's talking? Like guys out here drooling.
Literally, and then so, for example. Like the street food is great. All the thing was great. Like you can go to different places. Like there's a lot of these things called like Chicken Republic, Kilimanjaro, where you can get like jollof rice, fried rice, all the staples. You can get yam and egg. You can get all these things. And that's the thing I love about Nigerian restaurants. Like when you go to the restaurant, it's just like all the Nigerian food there.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like I'm not going to a specific place for a specific thing. All the food's there. Enjoy yourself. Pick what you want. We'll put everything on the plate. And I'm just taking everything.
That's amazing,
more and more everything. Having a good time. And so we went to, and then we decided to go to Radisson Blu. So there's a Radisson Blu hotel, and they have a buffet. Mm-hmm. So, and the buffet is around 16,000 naira, which for a lot of people would be expensive, but like for us it was calm.
What does
because
that
of conversion
come to?
That's maybe around 20
for
wait or something. Not even.
Do you know what it is? I feel like that's kind of the price it would be here. So I would say it's a lot there.
Yeah, for someone. But like it was all you can eat buffet, and like I literally said to my dad, I've never been to a buffet in the West that I've actually fully enjoyed everything or whatever, or like had anything. Like they're all like okay, like how buffets are here. Like most of them are just like or there's typically only Chinese food or like Japanese food, or like, and the stuff isn't like fresh and everything like that. Mm-hmm. There it was all fresh, all good, like and obviously like I'm biased here, I'm not gonna lie, because I love Nigerian food. That's like all I eat. I only eat Nigerian food pretty much. Obviously I eat other food, but like like that's my food. And so like I was just there and I was like fried rice, jollof rice, yes. Oh, they have some pounded yam, let me get some of that, and get some egusi, some ewedu, some stew, like eat it together. And they have pepper soup, they have ogbono, they have all these things. If you're Nigerian, if you know, and you're just enjoying, and like and I was like, and then the desserts, like I don't eat desserts. I don't eat dessert, but these were the best desserts I've ever seen in a buffet, and they were fresh too, not like just sitting there for hours, months, or whatever.
It's like
freshly baked every day.
Stale half donut.
Yeah, not the stuff they get in the pack and just put it there. Like this is like. And they, a standard to uphold, and they were just eating. It was amazing.
It was like he twisted a knife in my heart. Even more.
And then I did the same thing in the Marriott. So the Marriott also, they're both in Ikeja. Shout out, that's where I was born, in Ikeja Hospital. And so what's it called? Went there, enjoyed. But I would say the Radisson Blu in Ikeja is a lot better than the Marriott in Ikeja for buffet. It's a lot better.
when you say buffet, is this specific to like breakfast, lunch, or dinner, or is it all
So
day?
there is breakfast times,
Okay.
lunch times, and dinner times. We went and lunch both times.
Okay.
Well, obviously, I think it's more expensive. You know, like as the day goes on, like breakfast is the cheapest, lunch is next, and then the most expensive is dinner.
Of course.
And they're all at different times. So like the lunch is usually like 12 to 4 for the Radisson Blue, and then 12 to 3:30 for the Marriott. But then the dinner times are 6 to 10 or like 6 to 11, right? For both of them. So like most people have dinner like later over there than like here. So and I would assume because it's more expensive, there's probably more options or like more like I guess they would say more better options, like, or like if it was the same amount of options as in like more whatever, like, you know, kind of like how if you go to a buffet here, like at lunch you're getting just normal like shredded chicken, but at dinner there might be duck, you know,
That kind of vibe,
thing, you know, stuff like that. Like you'll still have the shredded chicken, but they'll also have duck. And
I'm just thinking about the desserts that they probably have at dinner time, and I'm like,
oh no, but honestly, like I think it's very enjoyable, and like food that people like to eat. I personally think like if you're not shy of like trying food, like you're not like one of those like I don't like trying stuff that I've never eaten before, you would love Nigerian food. And like especially like here, it's just in great abundance, you know.
Yeah.
And it's not too expensive. You don't have to go to like a Radisson Blue or Marriott. You can go to the street, you can go to like a buka and everything, and get like food, and you can go to different like places there. And especially coming from Europe, it'd be a lot more affordable for you than it would be for someone over there. So like those are the kind of things that you have to think about, and like it works well. So like, you know, it's there.
Yeah, I suppose. So then obviously you mentioned like stall food and stuff. Did you get anything?
I love fried rice and jollof rice. I got that so much, obviously. And then I obviously got like when I was actually in my family home, they gave me amala and everything. I love amala. I'm a big amala connoisseur and egusi. And so I was just eating that tomorrow. And it's just, I don't know, there's something about eating it back home that just makes it taste better, because like I think the flour is more fresh, because like usually by the time we get it here, like when we buy it, like it's already traveled across the sea and stuff like that. And
I don't know that affects it, but
I don't know. Either way,
Frank's like, I need to justify it.
It tastes better.
Maybe it's like, you know, the love put into it.
No.
I'm sure there's love here.
Yeah, my mom puts love when she makes omelette, but the flour just not as fresh. It's not as fresh.
Yeah, it's just not how flour works.
You know, that's not how it works. Yeah. But no, it's just not as fresh. I'm telling you right now. Trust me. You know, it's crazy.
Well, sounds like you were chopping life.
I was chopping life.
You were chopping.
I was chopping life.
I'm jealous. But
you know, like that was all like for the casual different experience. But in the next episode, we'll talk more about how life is there for different people, how it is like with the corruption, rich, poor. So all these are all things you'll have to find out on next week's episode.
In it. Till next time.
Peace.